really want to know वो पहला बंदा कैसे हायर किया आपने?
My first hiring was, it was purely trying to get somebody who can start working with me in a small factory. So I had a very small workshop, small factory in a Devli village. Just went to the right people and they found somebody for me. And that's how I still remember this guy came from Bihar. His name is Ganga. You'll still see him in the factory.
If you talk about today's world, Vikash, it's all about ROI. Even employees today, if you talk about, they are also coming with an intent कि यार 6 महीने जॉब करेंगे उसके बाद छोड़ देंगे. What's your thought about it? Where are we reaching with this kind of a thought?
I think that's very sad. Simple formula है boss, transparency. अगर आपका बंदा आपको देख रहा है ना कि आप ट्रांसपेरेंट हो और ऑनेस्ट हो ना, वो दिख जाता है. आपको उसके लिए कोई ज्यादा रॉकेट साइंस नहीं करना है. You don't have to act. It's natural. People are very smart.
Idealizing Kapil Dev, then getting a chance to meet him. What is that leadership lesson that you learned from him? Vikash, I recently read a book. I recently finished reading a book. This was about entrepreneurship. The title was Success in Business. I think it was a well drafted book. The only thing which I really thought was missing in the point was that the title of the book. In my opinion, title of the book should not have been the success in business. It should have been failures slash struggles slash success, which comes much later. Vikash, I really welcome you in our podcast. I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful conversation. Let's decode this book. Let's decode this title of the book. There's no better person than you who's going to shed this light with 30 years of business experience, started your business, established your business. You went a step further and created a brand out of the business. It's a premium leather furniture that you do. The name is 360 Degree. I welcome you again. And I would like to start the conversation with you to decode the business that you are into. विकास बिल्कुल शुरू से शुरू करते हैं राइट प्लीज टेल अस व्हाट वाज दैट 19-year old विकास thinking about life thinking about business thinking about money what was his passion and what he wanted to do when he started.
Well, thanks, Rajan. It's nice of you to have me here. So going back to my 19-year-old time, when I was 19-year-old, I was in US at that point, like a young boy, going for my undergrad. And but I did not have money to pay for my college. My parents did not have. I don't come from that background that they could have supported me with the finance. But I had a desire to go to US like any other boy out of Calcutta. Go there and explore American dreams. It was big for us at that point in time when we were growing as a kids in Calcutta. So when I went to US, I used to deliver newspaper. 5 years of delivering newspaper, 5 o'clock in the morning, every day, come what may, snow, rain, doesn't matter. And my other job was to work for an Indian leather store. And that's how the leather journey started at that age. So I used to work for a beautiful, beautiful leather store. It had a stunning leather goods. And a lot of products came from India. It had a small made in India sticker, but nowhere there was India story. No, because the brand was American or Italian. And that's how my early days, that's where I got exposed to leather, the journey of luxury, brand and everything. And that's what 19 years when I was there, and I finished my college in, I think, 1992, I graduated.
Okay.
While doing my college, doing all odd jobs, there was always a desire that bothered me, that, even though India made such a beautiful products, it had such a great craftsmanship, but nobody was talking about India's story. It was just, some other brand.
Contractual manufacturing which was
Yeah,
happening.
it was not. So it bothered me. And, when you are an Indian at that age, you're staying abroad, away from home and family, you become more Indian. You miss your home, you miss your country, you become more vocal about your country. So I was one of those kids, who was going through that same phase,
A
So I
discovery
did,
phase.
yeah, and I always had a desire that when I somehow I wanted to build an India brand. I wanted to build that story which was missing. So when I finished my college, I had a job with Mobil Oil. I had studied computer information systems.
Okay.
So I had a great opportunity working with Mobil Oil. And my family, my well wishers, my best friends in India, they all thought the guy has gone to America, he's got the best job, he's now never going to come back. But my heart was always in India, and my dream was always to do and be an entrepreneur. So, believe it or not, after just 1 year into the job, I decided to come back and landed up in Delhi with whatever opportunity I could get. Because my idea was not to come back and look for a job, was to come back as an entrepreneur, and it was not easy those days. 93, I'm talking.
Yeah, it was very difficult.
So I was only 25 years old. So I came back and landed up in Delhi, not knowing a single family. There was opportunity. I've never been to Delhi before that.
Okay.
Never in my life.
Okay.
So straight from America into Delhi with a dream to build a brand, something in leather, because that's all I'd experienced in a retail, and that's how my journey started.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're a leather man.
I am trying to be a leather man. I don't know
Great.
if I'm a leather man, but
Great.
yes, I'm trying to bring India leather story on the world map. That's my vision. That's my goal. That's my.
We are really proud of that.
Thank you.
Because when it comes to business, I'm sure there are a number of businesses that you could thought about, but I think you chose a business which was very different, very unconventional at that point in time, right? So आपने business में ऐसा क्या देखा जो शायद बाकी लोगों ने नहीं देखा, and how did you set the vision for your business right from day one?
So I think it has all evolved. I would not say everything has happened from day one, but yes, what I saw was that there are few facts which was clear to me, that there were a lot of goods coming from India in leather, and I realized that India has a lot of resource when it comes to craftsmanship, because I could see that. I was experiencing it every day, selling it, that the craftsmanship is there, the quality of leather is there. Marketing is missing, the story is missing. So I saw, yeah, there is opportunity. And it could be in exports, it could be building a retail luxury brand. But yes, putting it together is never easy, and I knew it's going to take a life out of you if you're going to create, because that's how the Italians did it. It's not, or any big brands of the world. It's a journey. It takes decades to build something. It's not something which just happens overnight. It's not just because you are passionate about something and you just go and build it. No, it doesn't happen. You have to be in love with it, and have to, like your child. He's gonna
just a baby.
Yeah, it's like a baby. 9 months. You cannot have a premature baby. It takes 9 months, and after that, if you want a healthy kid out, and then it takes. You just got to be. You got to give that time, give that energy, give that nurturing, and that's how you build something. So that's why I thought, okay, I'll be since I had experienced leather, I thought I'm not going to waste my time exploring other material. I will look into leather because I have understood. I knew India has got the largest livestock in the world, and we don't talk about our leather story to the world.
It's a raw material hub.
It's a raw material hub.
It's a craftsmanship hub.
It's a craftsmanship. India has got the largest craftsmen in the world, artisans. India has got the largest.
Correct.
India has got the largest livestock. And you know what? What bothers me? In spite of having all these resources and having so many craftsmen and everything, look at our ranking where we stand.
Right.
When it comes to world crafts market, India has got less than 1% share. It's a 1100 billion industry. 1100 billion.
My God.
And India's share is less than 1%.
Which is nothing.
Having the largest artisans in the world,
right.
India has it.
Right.
That's kills it. Okay? Livestock. India has got the largest livestock. We have the resources. And guess what? We have less than 2% share in the world market when it comes to leather.
Right.
China has 30%. Vietnam has 10%. Look what are we talking? Why have we not able to do it? Why have we not? What are we lacking? I feel we are lacking because we don't build brands. We are not committed to building India's story. We are not committed to taking pride in what we produce,
right.
Talking about our craftsmen, talking about our people, talking about our culture, talking about our values, talking about our resources. We don't. Because it costs money, it takes time, money, energy. You got to build it like any other thing. You take pride building only factories because it's an asset. You can see, you can touch and feel, you can show. But when you build a marketing, when you build a brand, you see it, but it's a painful.
It is painful.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, when it comes to India, I think they have actually learned it very late that the brands is something which is more premium. That ways, as you rightly said, livestock was here. The raw material hub is there, craftsmanship, artisans, it's all here.
Right.
And if you talk about the numbers that you have given, they are so minuscule with
Yeah.
respect to India.
Yeah.
So I think that was an opportunity, that was a potential that you
Yeah, yeah,
feel.
numbers do the talking. When you have those numbers in front of you, there's no rocket science, right?
Right, right,
I mean, you're going to start with some research, right?
right.
And these numbers are
Mm. In itself, it was an open book.
it's open book.
It's an open book.
Today you have a chat GPT, you can go do research,
Right.
but that time also those numbers were there.
Mm.
So I
Right.
knew that numbers are there. But what's wrong?
Right.
There's something missing.
Right.
And I'm saying there's a room for many 360 to happen, many Vikash Gupta to happen.
Mm.
And I'm just trying to do something and be an inspiration for a lot of people and make it successful, so more entrepreneurs come in and join, because India needs more entrepreneurs.
I think that's an intent, Vikash.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you talk about success in business,
Yeah.
I think there's a journey and there's a spokesperson. And there are many today, if you talk
Yeah.
about India,
Absolutely.
whose stories are incredible
Yes.
and inspiring that way.
Absolutely. Spot on.
Yeah. So it sounds very simple, but I'm sure there's a lot of hardship which has gone into it. Let's talk about the next level of business, Vikash. पहले तो होता है यार business शुरू कर दें, उसके होता है business जमा दें. Then there's a rapid scale which happens in business, which is clearly linked with the market and the research that you have done. Tell us those sides of business, which is a different story altogether. More finance needed, more people needed, factories has to be built. There's so much to do for that scaling up. How did you manage that?
I think you're right. I mean, so when you're ready to scale, I think with our retail brand, I think we are about to scale now as we speak.
Okay.
So
So I caught you at the right time.
yeah, you got us at the right time, because this is when I think, and it is not scaling is not about just. I think it's a mix of everything. Most important is, of course, the people, the team. It takes time to put that team together. It takes time. It takes a life out of you to put that people with that same thought, same vision, same commitment, and then of course everything else comes, finance, and it's all part of it. So I'm not saying what is more important, but those are all important. And
Right.
and when you are building something with the limited resources, you have to have a lot of patience. As much as you see the growth, you see the potential, you're excited. And as an entrepreneur, when you're building something and you see it, the opportunity there, you want to grab it. Nobody wants to miss it.
Right.
But then you have to just be careful. You have to say, "Nee, Baba, it looks good, but you know what? I got to watch it." Because it's, even if you are taking a bank's loan, which we all did.
Right.
I was very fortunate. And in fact, I can tell you stories when I was scaling. I'll tell you, my second year, I had a turnover of around 50 lakhs.
Okay.
Third year.
Right.
And then suddenly I had one single order from US, which was 1 CR.
Oh my God.
How do you do it?
Yeah.
I did not have the resource.
And you can't miss it also at the same
You
time.
cannot. Hey, listen, it's the opportunity from one of the best store. You did a turnover of 50 lakhs and you have a one single order of 1 CR. What do you do? And this is, I'm telling you, 95, 96.
Right.
I'm young and I'm like, whoa. It's a dream come true. What do you do? So I was, but God is so kind. There are ways things happen, how you meet people. And I had nothing. I had a rented house, I had a rented factory. I'm just 3 years into the business, no money. Nothing. So what do I do? So this is 30 years back, Rajan. I would have never thought you could go to the bank and
Get money from there.
get money, without
On basis of what?
On basis of what?
Yeah.
And and this order came, maybe the day it came, after 3 days, I went to the bank for some small transaction, and just happens like God sent. There was this chief manager. He just came to me because I think that time they were encouraging exporters,
Right.
For whatever reason. And he
Right.
says, well, how come you don't have a loan? You're not taking any limits. I said, sir, then I couldn't believe it. He said, come to my cabin. So I went to his cabin and I said, sir, I have, I was 26 years old. I said, sir, I have this big order, 1 crore का, मेरे पास पैसे नहीं है. मैं बोलता है, बट कोई बात नहीं, मैं आपको हेल्प करूंगा, बट आप ये बताओ आप क्या कोलेटरल दोगे. बोले, सर कुछ नहीं है, रेंटेड फैक्ट्री है, रेंटेड घर है, बीवी है, माँ बाप है, कुछ नहीं है. बोला, नहीं ऐसे नहीं होगा, you have to do something. I said, sir, I have no idea. I actually don't have it. All I have is my US degree, college degree. I can give you that as a collateral. So he said, आप जाओ, come next day. And next day, I was 10 o'clock. Before him, I was in his office, outside his cabin. And the guy had already made a plan. He says, okay, how much do you need? So I was very scared to tell him that I need so much money. I said 1 crore order. So I just बोलता हूँ 25-30 लाख रुपए दे दे कम से कम so that भगाए नहीं. So I told him, sir, 25 लाख मिल जाएगा, then I'll ask my vendors to pay and all that. So manage कर लूंगा. You know, he wrote all the notes and he gave me 30 lakhs.
Okay.
And he said 5 lakhs ka security banayenge,
Without
FD,
collateral? Acha, five.
FD banayenge.
Okay.
He did it. Hey, listen, I had no idea what he did. It was a blessing. So I thought just ran with that money. I said, thank you. And he said, if you screw up, my job is gone. I said, sir, your job is gone. My career is gone. But God was kind. We performed. The limits went up to 50 lakhs. He supported me. And there was no turning back from there. So that's how it all starts. You know, so things do happen, yeah. Few hits, few miss. That's how you take your journey.
I totally understand. So that is the finance side of things, right?
Right.
So it's just not finance, as you rightly
It
said,
is never finance, just
because
one
your
of it.
brand is also 360 degree.
360.
Yeah,
A degree missed out. Now it's 360
yeah,
only.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
360.
Yeah.
So if you talk about 360, I'm sure there's so much which goes into it, but
Yeah.
we'll come to that later for
Yeah.
sure. Vikash, when it comes to the initial part of the days, of your career, thankfully you met this guy who was a thorough gentleman, really helped you.
He did.
There are vendors, there are exporters, there are importers, there's your team, then craftsmen, artisans. I think so much to look after. I'll come to the rest of the part later, but I really want to know the team members, the team that you put in for the first. वो पहला बंदा कैसे हायर किया आपने आपने वो दूसरा बंदा हायर कैसे किया? I'm really interested to know that.
So I'll tell you, I mean, it's
The most difficult part, I'm telling you this.
well, it's not a difficult part. It's an interesting part. It's a part which I will never forget, because you never forget your first hiring,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I think when I started, my first business was metal hardware, decorative, because I just was waiting for opportunity to get into India and start something. So I met somebody who was sourcing hardware out of India, and that's how my first business started. Then I moved it slowly into leather. Once I was a little into the business, I had to support my family, I had to support myself. So my first hiring was, it was purely trying to get somebody who can start working with me in a small factory. So I had a very small workshop, small factory in a Devli village.
Okay.
That's all I could afford in a Lal Dora area in Delhi. I was staying
People are
in
not aware of Lal Dora
Lal
areas.
Dora, yeah.
We'll explain that
yeah,
later.
yeah. But so Lal Dora is a small area where in early days the gaons, people in the village were allowed to put commercial
Some
thing.
commercial activities.
Yeah,
over there.
some like your chakki and all that stuff. So Lal Dora, you can do anything, and it's a great. So I set up my small factory there on a rented. So obviously, then you look for you look for somebody, helper or some. So I remember I was just and you go to the local guy there, you go to the chaudhary of the gaon there, and you say, "Yaar, mujhe koi acha aadmi do." That's how you start. You connect with the people there, local, and the reason you go to them because they are the people who will also stand, will support you, because you need that. So luckily, my mind worked. So I did not, I just went to the right people, and they found somebody for me. And that's how I still remember this guy came from Bihar. No, he came from Bihar, yeah. His name is Ganga. Thin guy. And I'll tell you, Rajan, something very interesting. He's still with me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You'll still see him in the factory. If you come to my factory, it's been 30 years. So we all talk about it. I mean, so that guy is the first guy. And I remembered he came from the village. He was looking for a job. He somehow landed up in this village, and somehow this guy connected. And so that's how my first hiring happened. So it was very, for me, I looked at that guy at that point. He has the same story what I had. I came from US with the vision of doing something. He came from his village to Delhi with the same vision,
to do something.
same spirit, same thought.
Right.
He was just like me. So I just looked at it and I said, wow. And that's how we both started.
Oh, that's great. Ganga is still working with you.
Ganga is still with me.
So it's stories within the stories. I think that's something which is good.
Yeah.
So Vikash, also, at what stage do you actually realize that, let's have an HR department and an HR person in your company? And what was an impact of that decision once you took that guy?
So I think as we grew, because we started exporting to some of the best brands of the world as we grew. As once the business picked up, God was very kind in handicraft, leather handicraft, because that's what it is. We started doing well. We got recognized by the government of India also a few times. Business started growing. I was traveling the world, getting orders, doing my executions, and the team was growing. And when you work with some of these so-called big brands of the world, you got to be very careful with your compliances and your HR act. So I think that's when. So it's must have been. I would say right after 5 or 6 years after my into the business, when that stage came where I had to manage 200, 300 workers. So I think my HR started, I think, on the fourth or fifth year of my business,
Okay.
and it was, of course, very oriented towards factory.
Okay.
So more for the
It was more of a
craftsmen.
planned HR.
Plant. It was mostly yeah,
Planned
absolutely a
HR.
plant HR, and that's what we needed.
Mm.
Who could handle the compliances? Who could handle this? Because, you know, so I had to be very careful what kind of HR we get on board.
Right.
Somebody who could really handle the craftsman, because
Right.
craftsman is end of the day different breed. It's not a white,
Very
it's a
creative
blue.
people, different
Yeah, it's a
tone.
different.
Yeah.
And sometimes वो ना बड़े क्या बोलते हैं उसको, थोड़ा जोशीले होते हैं. You have to handle them very differently. It's not about money. You cannot. Craftsmen are very different breed.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. I
you got
understand.
to give them respect. You got to give them their dues.
Mm.
I think they can give their life for you, and you try to. You cannot. It's a different world. How it is transforming, and how the kind of people I dealt at that point, and I still feel they exist.
Mm.
Same quality.
And once you started that human resource journey in your company, I'm sure it was a positive impact,
100%.
right? In
Hundred
terms of
percent.
scaling up, in terms
Hundred
of
percent. Couldn't have done it
expansion,
without it.
everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I'm really intrigued to ask you one more thing.
Yeah.
Being a businessman means being an influential person for the people around, for the teams and stuff like that. हम उन लोगों को नर्चर बड़े प्यार से कर लेते हैं जो हमारे आसपास होते हैं,
Hmm.
जो हमारे ब्लूटूथ के रडार में होते हैं ना, उनको हम बहुत आराम से नर्चर कर लेते हैं.
Hmm.
But in businesses like yours,
Hmm.
wherein your factory is like 50 kilometers away, and probably your importer is sitting in a different geography altogether,
Hmm.
how do you nurture those relationships for the benefit of the business that you operate in? From a distance. Work from home तो हम आज देखते हैं ना. You've done it, I'm sure, since you've started.
Yeah.
Because your buyers were there, your importers were there, compliances. So how did you manage those relationships from a distance?
I think if you ask me, I'll answer in one word: transparency.
Oh, that's great.
That's all
That's
it
great.
is.
That's great.
If you just have to be transparent,
Mm.
and it works.
Mm.
If you have that,
Mm.
the rest is all
Mm.
all manageable.
Commendable. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
इससे better answer हो ही नहीं सकता था, Vikas.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if you ask me what has worked for me in 30 years, that's the only thing that has worked. Nothing else has worked.
Right.
I mean, so I've not
Because
even tried anything else.
no, I think that is the most simplistic thing that you could do.
Yeah, I mean,
It solves the problem all the
so
time.
no matter where you are, business challenges होंगे, ups
Mm.
and down होंगे,
Mm.
deadlines fail होंगी. होते हैं यार, business में सब नहीं होगा तो business क्या हुआ वो? And why would people then, what leader are you then?
Yes.
But you have to own up to it, and you don't have to lie about it. You have to accept it and tell your buyer or whoever it is, yeah, boss, this is ground reality. I'm being honest.
Mm.
The buyer used to get upset. They used to create a hell, but next day at least they used to respect the fact that, yeah, the guy's at least honest. He's not giving me stories.
Right. Right.
So it's a
That makes a
transparency.
difference.
Yeah.
That makes a difference.
Yeah.
You're talking about changes,
Yeah.
which happens in business on almost on a daily basis, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
ऐसे एक problem में एक financial stress भी होता है.
बहुत होता है.
At times, we also reach a point wherein we have to take a very hard decision. It's a financial viability versus people. It's a big question for
Yeah,
entrepreneurs like you, and I'm sure you must have faced it. ऐसे situations में, what actually guides you, Vikas? Core values or the financial benefits that you see?
I think I don't know. I'm a very people's guy. I've always been emotional guy and very, very people. So I don't know. In my case, it's always been people first.
Mm.
And I and yes, you're right. You talk about financials challenges.
Mm.
Forget about then. We still face it.
We still face it.
There are days when I feel, yeah, shit. I mean, it's gonna be tough month.
Yeah.
I mean, so ऐसा नहीं है. हाँ, स्केलिंग अलग हो गई है. Times have changed. थोड़ा सा आज because of things around, or because of our relationship, because of our what goodwill, whatever. So sometimes it's easy to approach and get things resolved. But I tell you, in my early days, there were times, Rajan, I remembered one of the incidents where I had to pay a PF compliances, government compliances, my early days, and there was a last date. And I still remember the figure was 87,000 because it had piled up
Right.
for a couple of months or 3 months. I don't know.
Okay.
And so my HR came. He said, "Sir, अगर ये 87,000 कल तक नहीं pay
There's
करेंगे
a
ना,
warrant
तो
against you.
there could be a warrant,
There could be a
right?"
warrant against you.
And those are the last things you want,
Right,
right?
right.
I was shit scared. So guess what? I mean, so I had a 800 Maruti that time. That was my possession. I sold it. And and I, of course, at that time I told the world around me कि यार मैं upgrade कर रहा हूँ, तो इसको तो निकाल रहा हूँ. But I needed money, so I sold it and paid my PF. So those are the decisions you take. I mean, but it's okay. Business से ही कमाया था,
So it
कोई
means core
आसमान
values.
core
You
values है.
stick to the
तो
core values.
हाँ, your compliances we'll never compromise on.
Right.
We'll never. Our salaries of employees and all that, they are priorities. Yeah, they need to be paid no matter what.
Right.
You might have your good days, bad days. That's your problem. You are an entrepreneur, and the day you became an entrepreneur, it is not about you. It is about the people under you. The day any entrepreneur in the world, the day he decides to become an entrepreneur, it is not about him. He better know that.
Of course.
She better know that also.
No, definitely.
It
I
is
think
all about their people.
Yeah.
You have committed yourself to people. I mean,
everyone involved.
anything.
Everyone.
So you cannot even, so you don't have to feel, you don't have to pat yourself, because that's your responsibility. It is about people. It is
It
not
is
about you.
people. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Vikash, let's talk about something which is the proudest moment in your life when it comes to your business. ऐसा moment जो आपको लगा यार, yes, we have arrived. Could be anything.
I think अच्छे moments थे, बहुत हैं, ऐसे नहीं है. I mean, there are so many. I mean, I've been blessed. I think a lot of moments, but two very interesting moments, I would say, which I share with a lot of people, because I'm always very excited about it. One was my Glenfiddich Association, because it's a world's number one Scotch
Right,
brand,
right.
creator of single malt Glen. It's a still family owned business, 126 years old. And they picked up 360 out of all the brands that they did their Ricky with, and
Wow.
decided to do a line extension and collaborate in India. And it was a big thing for India. It was a big thing for a guy like me. I'm a
Right.
small player when it comes to them. They are they're the world leaders. So there was a very good moment for us and my team. I mean, what we accomplished there, I think it was a big. And today also, it's been third year together, and so we created a line extension called House of Glenfiddich X360.
Okay.
So it's a co-branding. Believe me, it doesn't happen. It's unbelievable what we have achieved there, and the way we are doing it, the places we are going, that is taking us, it's phenomenal. And then something which is very close to my heart, which I was able to achieve, was my Kapil Dev's collaboration.
I
Which,
saw
you
that
saw
somewhere.
that, right?
In fact, I saw Akshay Kumar also somewhere.
Yeah, Akshay Kumar, of course, that was also great. But Kapil Dev, very special, because I was a kid when India won that World Cup, right?
Everyone was a kid.
Yeah, we all were kids. And I think I was in class 6 or 7, and I was in Calcutta, which is a sports city, right? And I remembered when India got that World Cup, I must have cried. I think we all cried.
We all.
Yeah. So, and it was something very close to my heart. And mind you, Kapil Dev at that time was a very young leader. And it was, and that time, so that it was, the wind was there in my mind. It was it was a time for a young guy like me to realize that anything is possible, because we never
Right.
thought India will even
Right.
make it to anywhere close to the
World Cup,
finals. I
yeah.
mean, you don't even think about it, right?
Right.
It was never,
So we even thought about.
it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, when something like that happens, then you say, as a young kid, "Yaar, kuch bhi kar sakte hain." You
Those are the
start believing in yourself
Yes.
because of this game called
Yeah,
cricket.
Right.
So anyway, so it was always on my mind, and luckily God was so kind. How maybe it was my manifestation that I wanted to do something for 83 team. And look, 40 years down, I meet Kapil Dev. I met him a few times because of my golfing circuit, and thorough gentleman. I always enjoyed meeting him because his energy it just rubs on you. He's a very positive man, always full of energy. So I met him a few times, and I said, "Kapil sir, I have something to ask you." And I said, I want to do something for 83 team. And he said, "What is it that you want to do?" I said, "I don't know. I just want to do. I just want to meet them, and I want to gift something to them." So he said, "Okay." And we walked away. And then one day I met him again. He says, "Aa jao mere office." And then he told me, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Can I create a small personal bar for each player with 83 embossed, with their name embossed and the team picture?" He said, "Chalo, kar lo." And then he especially invited me. I was the only guy invited because he did this 40-year celebration in
Which was happening
in Bombay,
in Bombay,
in Trident.
Correct.
And Kapil Dev invited me. Went there, stayed in that hotel for the morning when they were getting all the players were together in the conference room. They were talking. He invited me and he
And you met
introduced
everyone
me.
there in that
Huh?
room? You met everyone there from.
Everybody was there,
My God.
except Ravi Shastri was not there. He was traveling. Everybody was also there.
Your
All.
manifestation went little too far.
I did too far. Maybe it did. So they were all there.
Yeah.
And he introduced me that he's a friend of mine, golfer. It was so kind of him. I mean, for me, he is a godfather. He's a mentor. I mean, he called me a friend, and he says, and he's building a luxury brand, trying to make India proud. And he made me speak to and give us a little talk about my brand to the entire people, all the players there. So beautiful, good to see that set up after 40 years, right? And they all, so I had bar, I told this is each one from me, from my brand to you for what you have done for the country 40 years back, and you still make us so proud. I wish I could do small bit of that in building a leather brand for India,
Right.
and that is my only vision in life. That's my only thing I want to do in my life. And you know what? I never asked anything in return. I never asked Kapil Dev, and I never had any agreement. I never wanted, but he was so kind. He says, I have asked everybody to sign one bar and give it back to him as a gift, which
Wow.
they did. I never asked. So it was so thoughtful of him. So I brought that bar. And when this was successful, then I said, Kapil Dev, I'm very lalchi now. I want to do something else now. He said, you're never satisfied. I said, nay. So, so my brand is about India's story. It is all about talking India. So I said, why can't we do, in 83, what was the most iconic thing? It's 175 runs that he scored.
Yes.
If he
yes.
would have not scored
Against
that inning,
Zimbabwe, when
yeah,
when the complete team was out,
boss, India's score was 17 for 5.
17 to 5.
And he started. So look, 175 is such a relevant number.
It's such a relevant number.
So 17 for 5, he came to bat. He made 175 runs, not out.
Yeah.
6 sixes.
Never thought that way, 17 by 5 and
Yes.
175.
So I said, let me make a bar dedicated to that 175 runs only. Each bar numbered 1 to 175. Each signed by him with his story, with his picture, with everything. Most beautiful thing which we have ever curated under 360. Again, the idea is this is a collector's items. I don't want people to just collect it. I want them to pass it on to their generation, with that story.
Right.
Because that is a story which inspires us.
Right.
So that was the intent. And by the way, we are selling that also for 175,000.
Oh, that's great.
It's all leather, in and out, fully loaded, with everything in it, with a great story, and each numbered
175,000 per bar.
per bar.
So
And
don't you think that he missed out on 200? You could have charged 2 lakhs.
we both would have made no. And by the way, Kapil Dev is not making a penny out of it.
I know.
Everything is going to his charity. Whatever money comes out, and that's the kind of person he is.
Because, idolizing Kapil Dev, then, getting a chance to meet him, rubbing shoulders, getting that energy from him. What is that leadership lesson that you learn from him? Because he's a proven leader. He's a leader of the masses that
He's
ways.
a phenomenal leader. And so, Rajan, very good question you asked. I think, and everybody needs to know this because I've been knowing Kapil Dev for a long time, but my interaction with him has been recently because of all these collaboration. And I'll tell you, I've never seen any celebrity. I've seen many celebrities, but in my own experience, I've never seen a celebrity who was so much people's guy. Never. And I'm telling you this because, and I'll tell you with my own example, with what he did with me. When I was doing this, he didn't had to come, but he came to my factory to meet the
Manasa
workers,
one?
to my crafts. Yeah.
Okay.
He said, "Nee, main aata hu yaar. I want to." So I thought, yeah, why would he come? Why would he? Usko jarurat kya hai? We can do this in the office. My design team will design. He will approve, and we'll do. He wanted to connect with the craftsmen. He
God.
came. He drove.
That was an intent?
That was his intent.
Okay.
He said, let's go, let's meet your people. You know how Kapil is. Kapil Dev sir is always very positive, high energy. I've never seen him low.
Yeah.
Never seen him low. So he came there. Then he said, okay, let's one day go to your retail showrooms also. I want to meet you. I said, yeah, they would love to meet you. He said, yeah, come. And he goes there. He says, coffee le aao, meri black coffee lao, baithte aaram se question pucho, ask me. Yaar, and forget about all this. And I'll tell you the most important thing, which I'm in love with, and something every entrepreneur should learn in today's day and age, and especially a guy like me should learn also. Kapil Dev, sir, still talks about his a 40-year-old team. He's still thinking about each player. Who does it, yaar?
No one
40 years
does.
back, you did the World Cup 40 years back. You brought the pride. Everybody made their
Mm,
money. Everybody
mm,
went on their way. You move on. The guy, the captain is still thinking about his team.
mm,
I go to him every time he's saying, यार मैं ना कुछ एक ट्रस्ट करना चाह रहा हूँ
mm.
जिसमें सबका अच्छा हो for because he's thinking of, because not everybody did great.
Right,
Somebody did well.
right.
Some
But
people
it
are
was a team together, as simple
yeah,
as that.
and he's still thinking as a captain of that team.
Okay.
And he's still thinking how to build trust, how to
Mm,
collect something or do something more for the team.
mm,
43 years
mm.
back, this happened, boss, and he's
Right.
still thinking about his
Mm,
people,
mm.
his team. It's a lesson.
It's a rare leadership qualities that you
कौन
could
करता है
think
यार?
of.
मैं 2 साल मेरा आदमी कोई काम करके चला जाता है, मैं भूल जाता हूँ, बॉस.
Right,
आई एम बीइंग ऑनेस्ट, आई एम बीइंग
right,
upfront. I
right.
mean, you move on.
Mm. But what a quality
What a
of Kapil sir
quality.
to have.
And don't forget, Rajan, most important thing which people don't realize, you're talking 43 years back, a guy, a captain in a team who had almost 6 senior players.
Mm,
वो जमाना अलग था.
mm,
43 years back seniority बहुत मैटर
mm,
करती थी.
mm,
उसका आप कैप्टन बने हो
mm,
जिसमें 6 senior players हैं आपसे
mm,
ज्यादा जो experienced हैं,
mm.
उनको लेके आप एक वर्ल्ड कप जीत रहे हो. You think, can you imagine the kind of pressure that guy must have gone through?
No, I can.
हम बिजनेस प्रेशर की बात करते हैं यार. You look
Right.
at this वर्ल्ड कप का pressure with 6 senior players telling them what to do, what not to do, still keeping calm and delivering
Mm,
and getting us that World Cup.
mm.
It's just go back 40 years and think about it, यार.
Right.
How the world used to work 40 years back. इंडिया
Right.
में स्पेशली क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कैसा था. आज आईपीएल शुरू हो गया ना. आज वो ओपननेस हो गई. आज वो people have become
Senior
billionaires.
junior is not a problem
It's a
anymore.
it's a different platform.
It's like a major commanding an army, as simple as that.
It is now. But imagine 43 years back how it was. Just think about it.
You know, even if you try to even think and
Uh,
probably resonate with what he was thinking, there's a
mm,
shiver in the body.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it
Managing
does.
people, managing seniors, doing
And
something.
and every time I go to his office, I'm creating his den. By the way, 360's den is going to start with Kapil Dev, and you go to the energy. I said, sir, आप कहाँ से लाते हो इतनी energy? He said, there. He's for him. Glass is always half full, and that's what I've learned, and that's how I've become also.
So
And I've always been
that's
like
a
this.
leadership lesson that you would like to quote from Mr. Kapil Dev.
Always
Always.
positivity, come what may. He always looks the glass half full. That's
Such a
all.
good quality.
It's the quality.
Mm.
If I were to just spot out, that's my
Vikash, we are really proud of Kapil Dev, sir.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
believe me, we are also very proud of you.
Yeah,
The kind of
thank
journey that you had
I'm
so
still got
far.
to
I'm
still
so proud of
long
you.
way to go.
Yeah. But you know, also I would like to ask you, you know, every entrepreneur has a different qualities that ways, you know, what to compromise on and what not to compromise on. So when it comes to you, what are the non-negotiables which Vikash has always understood, which people in the business do understand?
Absolutely. So every time we have a meeting, yearly meeting, or if I'm getting somebody else on board, or if you ask me, and this has been there for last 30 years. I mean, it is not something new. I'm very clear about fundamentals. My fundamentals are same. I'm a very old school guy. So my first fundamentals is I always tell my guys, for me, 30 years back also, customer is God. Today also it's the same thing. Everything starts from there. Customer is God for me. No question asked. So that's it cannot compromise, cannot question that. Second thing is, you cannot lie. If we are human.
Hmm.
You do feel like not going to work someday. We all do, right?
Right.
Just say, यार सर आज आपका चेहरा नहीं देखना है
आज
मुझे.
छुट्टी चाहिए.
आज छुट्टी चाहिए
आज
यार.
छुट्टी चाहिए.
Don't say I'm sick or I जरूरत नहीं है बॉस. आई अंडरस्टैंड, आई रिस्पेक्ट ना. मेरे को
Right.
पता है यार,
Right.
ह्यूमन है, नहीं मन करता कहीं जाने का. कभी मौसम अच्छा है, कभी दिल नहीं करता. सो इट्स बी ऑनेस्ट ना. आज सर मूड नहीं हो रहा है, पता नहीं क्यों. आई एम नॉट इन दैट फ्रेम ऑफ माइंड. आई डोंट वांट टू कम टू. गॉड ब्लेस यू यार. आई विल रिस्पेक्ट दैट. सो मेरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को सबको पता है. एंड आई से लिसन, वी आर इन बिजनेस. गलतियां होंगी. रिस्क मैं अकेले नहीं ले रहा हूँ. You have full liberty to take your risk. Go take mistakes. I'm responsible. But you cannot lie. You cannot cover it up. So they are very clear, because that's when it comes to transparency. Coming back to the
Integrity,
same thing.
transparency.
That's it. और कुछ नहीं है. No rocket science. कुछ है नहीं. Attitude positive. You cannot come to my factory. You can be any senior guy, but you cannot scream. You cannot shout. You cannot use foul language. Absolutely no. I've seen factories in India. I've gone to a lot of factories. I used to do a lot of trading, and I've had some very sad experiences, and it is to hurt me. It's just to bother me how we treat people sometimes. And I'm not saying all the factories, but some. And it used to bother me that we don't sometimes, we don't realize
What do we do? And
what
what are
we
the
do.
actions that we take?
And yeah, and we don't realize that there's a human.
Yeah.
And
There is respect attached to the person.
and I think America taught me a lot of this. I must give credit to America for at an early age that I went there and I saw the dignity of labor and everything was so good here. I would go to a job and I'll have a custodian or a janitor shake his hand and say, "Good morning, Hugo, how is it doing?" And why can't we do this in our country? Why can't you
Right.
look at your security? Why does he have to salute you? Why can't you
Yes.
say, "Hey, Jai Hind, good morning"? It's just a small thing,
Right.
but we are missing that as a culture. And these are small things, but it makes a hell lot of a
A
difference.
difference.
Our attitude, our nation is going to change if we just start small things.
And these are small changes.
Small
Just
changes
small
and
changes.
doable changes.
And at home, at work.
Absolutely.
That's how it should
कुछ नहीं
start.
करना यार वो मतलब good morning good hey क्या हाल है मतलब just that connect of saying people
It's about
do
human to human. As simple as that.
yeah
It's
human
not about
you know
employee.
yeah
It's not about someone else. It's
yeah
about human to human.
I every day when I go to work
Mm.
you know what is my ritual. I get my first black coffee as soon as I do my small puja which I've been doing for years. Everybody
हमने
does
black
it.
coffee दी है विकास को?
It's right here.
Got it.
I got my black coffee.
I thought you were reminding us.
No. So I would carry my black coffee and I'll walk my factory.
Okay.
So I don't go to see, and I tell my people also, I don't come. My intent is not to see क्या हो रहा है because काम तो हो ही रहा है यार. That is
It's about meeting
obviously.
you.
It's just my I connect with my people that
Right.
I'm here. I'm showed up. You guys are here. We are all fine. So it just gives me that energy that there's a relationship.
There's a relationship.
How do you connect? And it
Right.
doesn't have to be a verbal communication. It's just I connect and I just walk with my coffee. So everybody knows my style. अभी आ गया है ऊपर walk करेगा धीमे धीमे desk से देख रहा है and no question कोई मेरा communication zero communication. I just walk. It's a 10 minutes 15 minutes walk from ऊपर से नीचे तक. And I just come back to my room and then my day starts. And that is my ritual. It's been always. It's just become part of me.
Right. I have started this podcast which is known as the People Engine podcast. So कहीं ना कहीं घुमा के ना लोगों की बात लेके आऊंगा आपके सामने.
I see that. You're doing
You talk
it.
about the luxury product, I'll talk about the people. ठीक है ना?
No,
If you talk
luxury is people's
Yeah.
soul. What is luxury? Yeah.
That's what we believe in.
Ah.
So if you talk about today's world, Vikash, it's all about ROI. कि यार बंदा चाहिए hire करो 2 महीने बाद fire करो. This is the trend which is on. Even employees today, if you talk about, there's no reverence in the legacy work today. They come, they work. They are also coming with an intent कि यार 6 महीने job करेंगे उसके बाद छोड़ देंगे. What's your thought about it? Where are we reaching with this kind of a thought?
I think that's very sad.
Because we don't have more Gangas. You talk about Ganga.
Yeah, but I think yes, I agree with you because maybe this part of the world I see that, but not necessary across India. I still feel if you go to more, I think 2-tier cities, or if you go to little interiors, I think
Loyalty is still there.
loyalty is still there. I still think, and I feel this trend of hire and fire and easy come easy go. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing, and I don't think it's gonna bring any value to anybody,
company, not
to the
even to the
company or to the
employees.
person or anybody. So I
Anyone.
think if it is, it's not happening with us for sure. I have, even if you look at my management has been there. All my guys have been there for 8 years, 10 years, 7 years, 6 years.
Great.
If I look at my workers, craftsmen, they have been there with me 20 years, 22 years, 30 years. So maybe we have been fortunate, but I think
No, it can't be just fortune, It has to be something happening right at all the corners. I'm telling you this. Maybe you're
Again-
not taking a pride in this or being honest about it, but there's something right happening all through.
यार
That's good leadership. That's what I say.
राजन ताली तो 2 हाथ से ही बजेगी ना.
Genuinely.
Yeah,
That's also right.
but tali to you have to be fair and they have to be fair, and as I said, simple formula है boss, transparency. अगर आपका बंदा आपको देख रहा है ना कि आप ट्रांसपेरेंट हो और ऑनेस्ट हो ना, वो दिख जाता है आपको. उसके लिए कोई ज्यादा रॉकेट साइंस नहीं करना है. यू डोंट हैव टू एक्ट, इट्स नेचुरल. पीपल आर वेरी स्मार्ट. आपको क्या लगता है जो एक क्राफ्टमैन है, ये उसको समझ नहीं आता, उसको दुनियादारी आपसे ज्यादा पता है.
ज़्यादा पता है.
उसको भी वो भी अपनी गृहस्थी है, जैसे आप संभाल रहे हो अपने बीवी बच्चे और अपनी लाइफ ना, वो भी वो संभाल रहा है. वो दुनियादारी उसको ही पता है सारी. तो वो आप जब बात करते हो ना, तो हर आदमी आप they can you spend half an hour with
Well
me,
said.
you can see through me. Yeah.
Well
So
said. Well said.
so I don't think it's a rocket science. सब समझ जाते हैं. So आप अगर ऑनेस्ट हो, ट्रांसपेरेंट हो, तो अगर आप कभी गुस्से में कुछ बोल भी दोगे ना, तो उसको समझ में आता है कि यार ये ही डजंट मीन एनीथिंग बिकॉज दे नो व्हाट यू आर. होता है कभी कभी, आई ऑल्सो लूज इट, कुछ होती है कभी कभी. हालांकि मैं 3-4 साल में एक ही बार लूज करता हूँ कभी करता समटाइम्स. बट देन दे, बट आई एम, इट जस्ट आई कम बैक एंड दे ऑल रियलाइज इट. तो मतलब आई एम फॉरगिवन लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स, बिकॉज पीपल नो इट्स नॉट फ्रॉम माई हार्ट.
Again, I really appreciate you, the way
Hmm.
you are dealing with your people, bringing them together.
I've been blessed with good people and
ताली दोनों हाथ
blessed.
से बजती है, which you like
दोनों
to
हाथ
say.
से बज रही है.
हाँ,
अभी तक तो बज रही है.
नहीं बजती रहेगी, बजती रहेगी. Vikas, if you have to give some advice to a
Hmm.
21-year-old, 20-year-old, 22-year-old person
Hmm.
who's starting his business from the scratch, I know that you'll talk about transparency, you'll talk about integrity. I'm also
नहीं
half
नहीं
understanding of
नहीं
you.
नहीं, हाँ
What
हाँ.
would you advise the person? What are the core character a person has to build to start a business and succeed in business?
I think core values, अगर एक entrepreneur, अगर if is a 21-year-old, I think only in today's day and age, of course, I would only ask them, and which I do also. It's and I tell my kids also the same thing. I have a 30-year-old son and a 25-year-old son, two boys. They joined the business, travel the
Let's
world.
talk about them. What is the advice that you would give it to them?
Yeah, so
Or
yeah,
probably have given to them?
so no, and I give this to everybody,
Hmm.
and this is, and I mean it. Patience.
Hmm.
You cannot just work with the passion. Passion का मतलब ये नहीं होता है कि I'm passionate about और मैं रात दिन यही सोच रहा हूँ कर रहा हूँ. Passion का मतलब होता है you're going to give up something to get to that. Passion is not about I enjoy playing cricket, तो मैं सारा दिन क्रिकेट खेल रहा हूँ. नहीं बॉस, अगर वो पैशन है ना तो तुमको लाइफ में बहुत कुछ
मिस कर जाओगे.
मिस करना पड़ेगा.
Hmm.
मतलब दैट्स पैशन.
Hmm.
मेरे को बहुत अपने शॉर्ट टर्म गोल्स को आई हैड टू लेट गो.
Hmm.
When I was driven by this passion of building a brand, boss, I mean, I could have done 10 times more financially better and faster being just an exporter and working as an OEM for best of the brands in the world.
Hmm.
And people, my own wife did not accept that I was taking this lead on the building a brand. I don't blame her because for her, her priorities are different.
Right.
She's not thinking, doesn't have to think like me. She doesn't
Right.
have to have the same, goals or dreams like me. She's an individual. She has her own mind and she's right. So, but मेरे को लगता है आज की डेट में वो पैशन के लिए आपको एक तो क्लियरली मेंटली प्रिपेयर्ड होना पड़ेगा कि वो पैशन का मतलब पेशेंट चाहिए और बहुत कुछ खोना पड़ेगा. एंड यू हैव टू थिंक, you have to enjoy that journey. People today, and I see a lot of youngsters, they are, you're in a quick commerce world. You get everything instantly. You ask for a coffee, it comes in 2 seconds, right?
Right.
पहले नहीं होता था ऐसा ना, तो वो
Correct.
पेशेंट थोड़ा बन जाता था वो ह्यूमन में. अब तो है नहीं ना. आपको ब्लिंकेट में 2 मिनट में सब कुछ आ रहा है. सो आई थिंक पीपल आर लूजिंग ऑन दैट बिकॉज एवरीथिंग इज so fastly and so quickly available to you, which is good when it comes to.
All this is actually playing with our mind.
It is.
Yeah.
That's
Because we
why.
are losing patience at every corner, at every step of our life.
And this is going to happen, and this is the price we as a society will pay when it comes to, not with the youngsters, with taking some business decisions, even in relationships.
Right.
Because patience है नहीं तो चैलेंज आएंगे बॉस. अगर
इसका-
पेशेंट होगा तो थोड़ा आप सेक्रीफाइस करोगे.
Right. So impact is much greater than we actually can
Yeah.
think of it today.
बॉस, with lot of good things coming, we cannot just get all the goods and not.
The vices.
Yeah, कुछ पेन तो आएगा ही बॉस. We like it or we don't like it, we have to live with it, and we just have to find a way to deal with it. And you and I, we have gone, we are probably a generation older than the young generation. We can only give our advice, we can give our wisdom, we can tell them how important, which we do anyway, which we are doing through this medium also, is that patience is the virtue our parents used to tell us. And I still feel very strongly, patience is a virtue. If you're going to build something beautiful, be prepared. It takes time. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience.
So right you are. So right you are.
It's not going to happen
Because
overnight.
I think you've dealt a lot with artisans and craftsmen.
Yeah.
You know what is patience. You
Look
have
at
seen
their
that.
patience, यार.
Look at the patience.
I mean, आप आके मेरी फैक्ट्री देखो यार, वो जब बनाते हैं कुछ, आपको लगता है क्या, but that's where it is. That's where the soul comes.
Right.
When you put, and that's because आप उसमें आप तभी वो पेशेंट ला सकते हो जब आप उसमें खो जाते हो. आपका सोल, and that's what luxury to me is. जब आप कोई चीज, what I tell my guys, I said, आप जब कुछ डिजाइन करते हो ना, अभी मैंने बोला, अभी मेरा 1 जनवरी को हमारा craftsmen के साथ lunch होता है. Okay. every year.
Okay.
So we celebrate together. A new year we start together. So I was telling them, I have a small chat with them, and I was telling them, I said, आप जब भी कुछ डिजाइन करते हो ना, तो आप जब अपना
सोल
सोल उसमें
डालते हो।
डालते हो ना, आपको बिलीव नहीं होता है वो सोल किसी के घर में कोई लेके जा रहा है खरीद के कहाँ से कहाँ, तो वो एनर्जी जाती है, और वो जब वो उसको देख के वो खुश होता है, वो एनर्जी आपको वापस आती है।
करेक्ट।
सो इसीलिए आप उसको जब भी बना रहे हो ना, तो चाहे जितने
दिल
भी
से
आप
बनाओ,
परेशान हो,
दिल से बनाओ।
घर से हम सब लड़के आते हैं, कभी कभी परेशान होते हैं, कोई बात नहीं, जब आप काम पे आ जाओ ना, तो अपना वो सारा सारा कुछ उस पे लगा दो, जो मैं भी लगाता हूँ। मेरी भी चैलेंजेस हैं लाइफ के, आई ऑल्सो, बट आई शो अप यार, आई गेट टू वर्क, आई शो अप एंड देन आई गेट इन्वॉल्व इन माई वर्क, एंड आई रिस्पेक्ट, बिकॉज इट इज माई वर्क विच गिव्स मी एवरीथिंग इन लाइफ. So I put all my life, I put everything it's there, and I tell the same thing to my craftsmen. अगर जब वो एनर्जी जब आप उसमें लगाते हो, वो एनर्जी पॉजिटिव होनी चाहिए, और वही एनर्जी आपको वापस भी. एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई टेल माय रिटेलर्स आल्सो, ऑल माय फ्रंट लाइन गाइज, कोई कस्टमर ने अगर कुछ चीज बनाई और उसने अपने हिसाब से कस्टमाइज भी किया और वो उसको समझ भी नहीं आई फॉर सम रीजन, मैं बोलता हूँ वापस ले लो. इससे सर वो गलती हमारी नहीं है, बोले डजंट मैटर. वो उसके सामने रहेगी, वो नेगेटिव बोलेगा कि यार मैं गलत चीज ले आया, ये गलत चीज बन गई मेरे से. इट इज नॉट अबाउट राइट रॉन्ग, आई डोंट वांट दैट नेगेटिव एनर्जी इन माय ऑर्गेनाइजेशन.
एंड आल्सो द क्लाइंट फर्स्ट अप्रोच,
वो ठीक है, वो तो सेकेंडरी, बट वो एनर्जी नहीं चाहिए. माय फर्स्ट thing starts with the if I don't see a positive energy with you, I won't be able to sit here.
Right.
So that energy has to be positive, everything else will come.
Right.
So to me it's the thing कि मेरे को ना बंदा सामने जो भी हो, ब्लेसिंग दे रहा हो या मेरा, मतलब it has to be positive energy. That's very important.
It's again a sign of a good leader.
Yeah, well,
energies.
Thank you. I'll take it as a compliment, but I think it all comes from that energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Vikash, now it's a time for a rapid fire.
Okay.
Right. Rapid means yes, no, fast.
Quick.
If not a furniture brand, what would have Vikash built over the period of time?
I would have been a hospitality guy. I still think I will.
Great. What is that one leadership lesson that you would like to forget? That it's not valid anymore?
You cannot generalize.
Great. One sentence which Vikash repeat every time, in front of his people when there is a problem. हर किसी का वो तकिया कलाम होता है ना सर.
I always say मेरा तकिया कलाम तो एक ही है, hang in there.
Patience, hang in there.
Hang in there.
You're a book in yourself. People over profits. Yes or no?
Always yes.
Okay. Legacy in one simple line.
360 is gonna make every Indian proud.
Thank you so much, and wish you all the very best for this.
Thank you, Rajan, for having me. It's such a pleasure, such a positive and good energy here with you and your people. God bless you. Tons of good wishes.
Thank you so much, Vikash. It's genuinely, it's a mutual thought about you also. It's a wonderful discussion. There's so much that I've learned from you today.
No, we all do. I learned so much from you
and
guys.
I really wish 360 degree to do
Thank
the
you.
best.
Thank you.
Become a global brand.
Thank you. That's the intent. That's the manifestation. And
all positive vibes to 360.
Thank you.
The People Engine podcast is our effort to bring forth conversations from the perspective of human resources, because we truly believe it's the people who make the businesses. Follow us for more interesting stories.